do the HDB UNST uninstallation. Okay, use this button uninstallation. Whatever the active are there, that will be uninstalled. So see here, so that will be uninstalled here. So we have the some memory system will be run very fastly here, right? So needed space cannot needed. See, I think there is a space issue also here. 100% got full, right? Keep on increasing. The space also got occupied here. The HANA space is 100% is occupied. So these many things are not required here. Now go to data folder. Let me delete some of the things here. So these many things are not required for us. So we can just uninstall some of the things here. So only HANA installation is not the main thing to work on here, right? It's a small part. HANA installation is the small part here. CD/media. So for doing the uninstallation, you can go to the media folder. So there is a one file is called the HDBUNST, right? Just click on this HDBUNST. So it will ask the, so the DB details, which DB you are installing here. So don't uninstall only. We will keep one database SAD is like a HDM. Okay. So HDM. So this we will keep this database is active status only and not the HDM. HDD. So one database will keep as a active status here. Import content. This is also, it's not green, not clean actually. So here, so up to alerts tab we discussed, right? So whenever any issues in the HANA database side, we will get the alerts. We will get the alerts from the system here. If any issues or any errors, we will get the alerts here. See here, we have the data one, disk two, disk three are having some errors. Errors means there is a high usage, 100% utilization is there. So that is the reason we got this errors here. That is the reason we got the errors here in the alerts. So you want this to be, we want this to be come to your like receive to the emails. As we know in the alerts tab, we can go to the configure. Here we can configure the recipients and everything. We can configure it. So you will get the emails and everything here, right? That is the one thing here. So when you see here, the next one is the performance tab here. Performance tab is the very important here. So system in the HANA system, if any performance issues in the HANA database level, any performance issues. So the most important the tab is here, the performance tab here. By using here, we can troubleshoot it. The performance tab, we can troubleshoot it here. So here the threads, sessions. So these two are important here. Session means whoever connected to the HANA database, it will issue the one session here. So suppose like here from the HANA studio I connected, and also here you can see the Rajat also connected here. So from the application users. So as an administrator, I connected to the database user system, and Rajat also connected to the HANA database using this one. So only we two are connected. I think remaining people are not sure. I don't see any connection here. Maybe they have connected different databases, I think, but use only one database that is called the HDM. So this will give you the clear idea what's happening, right? So here it will give you the, whenever you log into the HANA database, it will issue the one command here. It will issue the one session here. So that each session, it will create the multiple threads. Each session, it will create the multiple threads here. Each session will create the multiple threads, right? So which means one session you connected, you are not only stick with the or opening the one thing, right? You are opening the multiple threads, multiple activities you are performing, which means each session they are the multiple activities are performing. Each session they are the multiple activities are we are performing. Here we are checking the something, we are checking, we are going to this one. So here using this performance tab in the sessions, we can find out here what's happening in our database. right? How many sessions are active? So how they are connected from the HANA Studio, right? Who are the users are connected, right? So one is the administrator, it's by me. And second one is the Rajat. Two users are connected. And what is their IP, right? What they are doing currently, how much data they got pulled from there, pulling from the database, how many records, how many number of queries they have executed. So compared to me, the Rajat executed more here. So then what he is doing and all the information it will be displayed here. All the information we can see it here in the so sessions and threads column. Sessions and threads column we can see it here. All the details we can see it here, right? So that is the main thing of the so So that is the sessions and threads. Blocked transactions means in HANA database, something is blocked. So suppose like there is a deadlock will happen in the HANA database sometimes here for the application tables, deadlocks, DB deadlocks here. Deadlocks means, so in case of, so what will happen? Deadlock situation means, so one process will updating the same session, the one more process also will the lock collision. It means simply say the collision will happen. The lock collision will happen at DB level. Two process at the same time will trying to update the so one database table. So that time the lock collision will happen. That time that type of blocked transactions we can see it here. What is the blocked transaction ID, connection ID? Who blocked it here, who is the lock owner, all the information. Normally, it should be empty. In the worst case situation, we may see the lock collision also here. In worst case situation, we may see the lock collision also. We can see that one here, lock collision also. So we can see it here. So that is the lock collision will happen here, right? SQL plan cache here. Here in the system, all SQL statements the accessed SQL statements will be in the cache in this here. So the frequent access statements here, frequently access statements here will be in the SQL plan cache here, right? That is the SQL plan cache. Then expensive statement trace here, expensive the statement trace here. So which means so if any statement SQL database level, everything will be executed as a so SQL query. So if any sometimes what happens, our functional guys or developers will execute the query to pull the historical data, to pull the physical year data and everything. Physical year data means so one physical year, 12 months of data from the database level. So which means that is a very big query. So sometimes what happens due to the memory issues in our database level that may take very longer duration. The physical memory will take the very longer duration here. So in that case, so the query will keep on running from longer time. So it will go hung status here. So that type of queries, why that is running from longer time, we have only less query. So it is only few records should be displayed, but is running from longer time. So we need to observe it here. In that case, the statement trace, we have to activate it here, right? That is the main thing. And job progress here. Here we can check the how many active jobs are there and everything. We can see it here, active jobs here. Then load. Load means any loads. How is the load? Last 5 minutes load. Some graphs we can see it here, but these are the not much useful. But only thing is here sessions and threads here. In your system, if any performance issues are what, so we can see the main things here. We can see the all the information, everything we can see it here, right? You see here previously 100%, now 34% it got crashed here, which means all the data got cleaned up here. Okay, ensure when you do the installation, so you can do the uninstallation, connect to the one database that is called the HDM, or you can install the HDB. Someone uninstalled this one. This is the simple generic name, HDB HANA database. So HDM someone created. I am also connected to the same database. Someone asked yesterday, so I also connected this database only here, right? So make sure when you are doing the installation is not the first priority here. After the installation, so how to connect to the HANA Studio, then what are these tabs about in case of any error. Suppose tomorrow you may face some performance issues. Means HANA database is very slow. So then you got the request or you got the email or something. That time, how to check it out, you should know, right? Then performance is slow means performance tab. Go to the performance tab, check the sessions, how many sessions are active, when they have created the session. Recently, that is fine. It's from old date. Then something is wrong. Then we can right click and we can cancel the session as well here, right? So after taking the informing investigation is done, we can cancel the sessions also here. That is what we can do it here. So blocked transaction, SQL plan cache here. So remaining all the things we can do it here, right? That is the main performance contributors here. Next one is the volume tab here. Volumes means here, so we can check the data volumes, data volume, log volume, free space, 100% it is used or not, used size and everything. So we can see it here. So previously when we see here, we got 100% full. That's why we got the alerts, 100% full alerts, we got it here. But now, so you now see the alerts are gone now. The alerts are gone now here. So only that the alerts are gone now here. So last 30 minutes, we have the 100%, 100%, 100%. The alerts are triggering. Each and every alert is triggering here. But in the volume tab, we can see the space utilization, memory, the space statistics and everything. Volume means space here. What is the total size here, what is the used one, what is the availability one. So all the information we can see it here, all the information we can see it in the data volume and log volume location. This is the very important for the HANA databases here. Data volumes and log volumes are very important for the HANA databases here. This volume status we have seen now here, data volumes, right? That is the one thing here. Performance tab. So performance related issues here, username, schema, all the information and everything here, right? That is the main thing. Next one is the configuration. So this is the some kind of changes about the configuration. SAP level, when you want to do the parameter changes, some configuration changes, so what you do, which concept you use in SAP level. In SAP, you want to do the some parameter changes. You want to
RZ10.
RG10, RG11, right? Same as like HANA. So you want to change the some memory parameters. So you want to uplift the instances. Uplift means increasing the memory, downsizing the memory, some traces, some parameters you have to enable it. In that case, so this is the place here in the configuration phase. Here you do the all the work here in the configuration phase here. In the configuration phase, we go to the all the IN, these are the INA files. Each process in the HANA database, each process here, if you go to the compile server, then compile server data INA, name server data INA, daemon data INA, DP server data INA, global data INA, index server data INA. So what this name server data, what this INA contains means, so it contains the parameters. Each process we can, the each process related parameters we can adjust in the configuration tab here. Suppose, so your memory utilization is very high, this database, right? This database is memory utilization is very, very high. So in that case, what we can do? In that case, so what we can do here in this case here, right? So memory utilization is very high here. So you see, so it's suppose like example, you set the memory utilization is the 75%. You see, ANA disk usage and CPU usage is very red. Let me, right? No, it's normal, back to normal. Okay. So this is a refresh button. It's back to normal. So so back to normal status. So here over you see green, everything is green, I see. So nothing is there here. So something 75 GB you allocated out of 80 GB memory, 75 GB you allocated to the HANA database. So one database you allocated 75 GB. I don't want to allocate 75 GB to one HANA database. Then I need to put the restrictions here. So in the configuration tab here, so they are the some common memory parameters are like global allocation limit, global allocation limit, then statement, statement, statement memory limit, statement allocation limit, statement memory limit. So these are the some parameters are there here, right? So these parameters we have to adjust it here, right? Suppose if you see here, So suppose I want to put the some restriction. I don't want to use the 75 GB only one HDM database. Then what about the other databases here? One database is using the 75 GB. What about the other databases here? Right? So in that case, what I can do here, see, it's already 41 GB it is using. What is using 41 GB? So only two databases are there here. Okay. What about the SAP? Is there any SAP system here? So no SAP system. Just pros are there. That's fine. Okay. This is using here, right? So here you can see. So it's using. It's only some parts only using. Remaining everything is free only here. So whenever ANA is the memory mentality, which means whatever the free memory is there, keep on using that free memory and everything here. Keep on using the that free memory and everything here. So in that case, what we can do, we can put the some restrictions. Means so we can set the if you set the memory parameter here. So suppose like it's a global data NI, it's a global data NI, it's a memory manager, it's a memory manager global data NI and so memory manager here we can put the so global allocation limit and everything. Otherwise, if you type here global allocation limit. If you set this parameter here, if you set this one here, so thus that related parameter will be opened here. Or we can also manually go ahead, go to here. So these are some important parameters here. That's why I'm telling only this statement memory limitation parameters. So here, so global allocation limit. So zero means so 100% you should use like that you given here. No, I want to give only 30 GB memory, right? So 30 GB memory, you have to use it here. Then give the 30 GB. So, right, just give the 30 GB memory here. Just keep on the save button here. Okay, only value we have to set here. So 30 GB means suppose like 3 into 30 GB. Suppose like 30,000. Save. Allocation limit. Allocated already 13. So alignment global allocation memory limit is failure. Okay, let's increase the 40 GB. Transaction rollback allocation failed. So query compilation type pool. So already it is already you occupied the 40 GB of main memory here. So if you give the 40 GB only, so it is not taking means less is not taking here. See, it's already so transaction DB already down here. DB already down here. You see database already so down status here. It's already down. So it's came to zero. Only less I have given here, which is very less here. It's only 30 GB, 30 MB. It's taken, I think. So less taken. So that is the reason the allocation got failure here. Allocation got failure here. Now let's go to the memory. See, immediately it will affect it here. This parameter values in some parameter values immediately it will affect here. Cannot allocation. See here cannot allocate enough memory. So that is the reason it got failure. It got failure here, which means so wrong attempt. Wrongly we have changed the parameter value here. So that is the reason. So HANA database is immediately got changed here. So it assume like 30 MB, then immediately the HANA database is gone. 30 MB means very less here. HANA is the main memory, very less. Already HANA used the more than so 13 GB it is used here. Used is the 13 GB already. Just to change the parameter wrong value we have given, then immediately HANA went down here. Immediately the HANA went down here. So that is the main thing here, right? So here, so now studio level is not possible here. So let me try to stop the HANA database here. Let's stop the HANA database here. Let's see what will happen. See, the wrong selection of the parameter value which caused the database went to the down status here. Database went to the down status here. Just go to the HDB space, stop here. Let's stop it one time. Len. Sys global, then HDB custom, then config, HDB custom config. So there is a one parameter value here. OS level also we can adjust it here. Global allocation limit. See the wrong value here. What I will do here, I will remove this parameter. When whatever you do the changes here, OS level that is updated here. So it is stopped here. Let me start here. So HANA database stopping and starting here. So free iPhone Z 31 GB is already. So it is starting mode. You can see the process are starting mode here. Right? So daemon, all the process will start first. Then lastly, daemon will start it. So daemon responsibility is to start the all the process. Then the remain finally it will start the daemon here. Until then, daemon will not come to the green status here. First, all the process will start it here. Right? Now see, HANA is clearly started here. So what happened now? Now wrong selection of the parameter value, it got created the confusion here. Right? So then that's why we got error. So now we can change clearly, go to the global underscore allocation. These are the some memory parameters here, right? Now it got set to the 0. Now we'll change the say value. Now we'll change the database value here. Database value to what we can do here. So 40, 45 GB, 40 GB, 40 into 40,000, right? 40 into 1024. The value we have to set it out here, right? So now 40 into value we set it out. 40 GB we have given here. Now go to the here. Now 75 GB got issued here, right? So but just to the refresh here. So now this will change to the 40 GB around, right? Which means only HANA will use the 40 GB only here. HANA will use the only 40 GB memory only. So the memory value, it got changed here. Now when the memory will value, it got changed to the less memory here. Let's go to the 25 GB. So we don't want to give full memory to HANA, right? 24 GB, that is fine. So that is fine here. So other databases also we require them to run it, right? That's why we have put the some restrictions here. So this kind of changes, any configuration changes of the database, SAP level we know RG10, RG11. For the SAP HANA database level, we can go to the configuration tab there. We can do the all kind of information and everything here. The allocation limit changes here. Any parameter changes we want to perform here. The name server.ini, index server.ini, all those things we can change it here. Name server.ini, index server.ini. So any files, each and every process is in the files. So we can adjust the files here. Global means it's applicable for the all the process here. Global data. So this is the, but this changes we have to perform from the system DB only here, not the tenant. System DB only we have to perform it here. All the changes which we have to perform from the system DB only here. Okay. So that is what we have to do it here, right? All the changes we have to perform from system DB. So parameter changes, stopping and starting. From here also we can stop the HANA database. Right click and just you can do the stop, restart, stop and start the systems and everything here. That is also possible. Or OS level HDB stop, HDB start commands also we can use it here. So database level, if you want to do any parameter changes or anything, you can change it here. Not only this parameter. So normally as part of the your EW report, monthly, weekly report, the SAP will ask you to change the parameter values. So that you have to change it. Not by SAP will not change. You have to change it here. You need to change that parameter values and everything here. So you need to come to the global data NI or some other whatever the parameter value you want to change it, you can change the value. If you don't remember that parameter where it is stay, just in the filter you can apply the parameter like just change the whatever the parameter you have to change it here just to make it that just update it here. So the related parameter value you can change it here. The statement means all the statement related information. Suppose someone asked you to change the statement time mode parameter value to the so uh, so 24 hours. So then you can just to make it as a 24 hours or zero means it's a unlimited actually here. Zero means unlimited value here. Someone change the statement memory default value this to some other lower value here, then you can change that values also here. So whenever you change it here, it will come to the green tick mark here, which means this is the custom changes here. This is the custom changes here. Suppose the value changed here, that is the DB level. This is the host specific changes like this here, right? If any configuration changes in the database level, so this is the place here. This is the place in the configuration tab. So we have to perform it here. We have to perform it in the configuration tab here, right? That is the main important thing here. The next one is the system information. System information here. So system information means here, so we have the predefined SQL statements are there here. As of now, what we are doing, something wrong or something needed, we are going to the respective tab, something alerts or something, we are checking all the information and everything here, right? So in case of it's not required, here there is a system information. It's related to the your system, HANA system related details here, right? So HANA system related details here. So here we have the all the files and everything are there here. Here we can see the caches and the connections and everything here, right? So we can find out. Suppose tomorrow your manager asked you to find out the how many connections are there in your system. Then what we have to do? We have to go to the landscape tab. So not the landscape, we have the performance tab, sessions. We can see the how many sessions and threads are there. So how many connections are issued. We can see the all the information, everything. So it's not required, but he can go to the system information. So he asked you to check the connection status here. Go to execute it. All the connection statements will be executed here. Suppose he asked you to check the what are the size of the tables in the disk here. Then if you select it, these are the schemas and these are the tables are there. Each table, how much disk size is occupied, all the information got displayed here, right? Just you can download this report as a file. You can inform to the your manager who asked for the report. You can share with them here. Suppose your manager asked to the used memory, how much memory usually asked the data. Then you can see here what is the column store tables and the row store tables, how much it is occupied. You got the data here, right? So system information related details here, system information related details here. So suppose someone asked you to provide the overall load, overall transaction, open transactions in your system. Then click on right click and execute it. It will tell you the what are the transactions are currently active here. Currently active transactions, the user transactions, which is active, which is how much data got filled and everything. All the information will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here, right? That is the main here. So connection, component, memory usage, caches. So whatever the information you required here, just right click and execute it. You will get the information, then download the report and you will inform to the your respective person who asked this question. So they can find out here. They can check it out here. Okay. So this is just information only. It's not like that. In case of something is required, instead of going to the here, instead of going where we have details and everything, we have the predefined SQL statements are there. There you can go ahead and pull the all the data. There you can go ahead and pull the all the information you can pull here. Right? System information, all the information, statistics, DB details. Suppose someone asked you to provide the DB details in the proper format, then you can provide these details here, right? So this is the information, we can get it out here, right? Connections, merge statistics, So sessions, tables, all the information we can get it out here. We can get the things here, right? The system information here, right? The next one is the trace configuration. Traces means log files here. In the database level, here, something like each process, we have the 7 process are there. Each process related details. Suppose like, so index server is the main process. It will store the data, right? What is the how it is happening? Preprocessor, name server, daemon. Each process there has own name, own file here, right? Suppose if I talk about the name server trace file here, right? So we can check what's happening with the name server log file here. So you connected from the system user. So then what is happening in the system user application name. So administrator, I used the administrator from HANA Studio. I'm doing something here that is recorded here, right? That is recorded here. Each and everything is getting recorded here, right? This is the log file here. By using this log file, we can troubleshoot it here. By using this log file here, we can troubleshoot the any errors or any issues here. Something like so HANA index server is crashed, our name server is crashed, our compile server is crashed, preprocessor is crashed, name server. So any log file, error log file here. Each process it will create the one log file here. Compile server dot trace, daemon dot trace, name server dot trace, preprocessor dot trace. So all the information will be recorded here, right? That is the trace files here, diagnosis files, diagnostic information, which means diagnosis files. So when we go for the diagnosis, right? When we go for the diagnosis, like when we go for the hospital or doctor will review the logs, means will review the reports, then will take the decision, right? Same as like here to review the reports, to review the logs of the process here. So we can see it here what happened and what are the log files are created. So we can see the all the log files and everything here, right? So that is the main important thing here. Logs are very important here. Each and every process, there is a log file got created here. So we can review this log file. We can take the actions here. We can review the log file here. So we can take the actions here. That is the main thing here, right? So that is the main important thing here. The main important thing here. Okay. The trace file, diagnosis files, log files here. So diagnosis files, log files, compile server, name server, preprocessor, and everything here. So log files related information and everything here. So that is the main thing here, right? So diagnosis files and system information, diagnosis files of the information, right? So next one is the trace. Sometimes what happens, doctor will suggest, so in case of the he don't have enough information to submit, he will write the some additional reports, he required some additional logs, additional reports, additional tests, lab tests are required. So that time, so here diagnosis files, you don't have enough logs here, so whatever you are expecting, that log file is not seen here, you are not observed any log files here. In that case, you can go to the trace configuration here, then you can enable the trace. Suppose every day one user creating the problem, then you can go to the user's trace here, you can provide the application user, then you can enable the trace here. Suppose I want to check the user trace, just provide the user trace. What is the database user? So suppose like Ravi user is creating some problem at a database level here, right? Is login with the application user administrator, then another database level is connecting as a Ravi user, then is doing the some nasty things in the database level, right? We want to track it, what exactly is doing and everything. So then in this case, you have enabled the user specific trace here, so that all the log files will be written into the here. In this case, it will be written into the all the log files here, right? So that we have the evidence as to find out here, right? End-to-end traces. So kernel traces, plant traces, expensive SQL statements here. Suppose database level, some SQL statements are happening, you want to check the SQL statements are related to the, so one of the user is executing the very long running SQL statements here. Then We need to find out what's happening in the database level and everything. So active. So if anything Ravi executed, so immediately that query or that the statement that whatever he is doing, that will be recorded. That will be recorded here. That will be recorded here. Right? That will happen here. So this kind of things, this kind of additional logs collection, SQL traces, that logs collection we can find out from here. So tomorrow your manager asks you to find, just enable the SQL statement trace to find out what are the SQL statements are running here. Or your manager asked you to tell yesterday some of the long running statements are executed, find out that long running SQL statement. Then where you find out? Why? Because we are not enabled the SQL statements and everything here, right? So then where you find out all the information and everything here, right? You cannot find out somewhere here. So in this case here, this SQL statement traces will help you. So if you enable it here, this will track the all the information now. This will track the all the information. So we can open it and we can observe, we can open it and we can troubleshoot the logs and everything in the systems. We can troubleshoot the logs, everything in the systems here. That is what we can do it in the systems here, right? The trace configuration, the performance skill statement, trace configuration, we can see it here. Okay, that is the main thing here. Okay, so in case of more logs are required to troubleshoot the issue, that time normally database will take the default logs and everything will be captured. So in case of any errors, we can open the trace log, we can see what went wrong and everything, we can observe it here. In case that logs are not enough, so that time we can go with the that time we can go with the so that time we can go with the this traces and everything here. That time we can go with the this traces here, right? That is the main thing of the trace configuration, right? So these are about the HANA Studio only. Okay, it's not that actual administration. So only HANA Studio tabs are completed here. So in this way, we can come to know here if any logs are required to troubleshoot it, to diagnosis files and trace configuration. If any long-running performance issues, performance tab to check the overall performance, overall status of the HANA process and everything. Then overview tab and the landscape tab, any alerts. Here we can see the alerts tab here. The more details you want to find out, go to the diagnosis files. Here we can see the error related informations and everything here. Suppose in your HANA system, if you want to change some system settings or some parameters, we can go to the system information there. We can change the all the things and everything here. Okay. So this is the main thing of the HANA Studio level here. So suppose if you want to restart, we can do the restart of the system also, stop and start, restart, right? So these things we can perform it here. So for now today, we can do the you can do the some administration part on the HANA Studio. Suppose if any database level issues, where can we find out performance issues, anything here, how to check the HANA process. If we all the six process or all the process are active, running fine means so everything is good. If something wrong, then HANA will give the troubles here. Are there any critical errors in the systems? So all the information is very important here to know the details, database status and everything. Why? Because DB is the very important here to figure it out the any issues and everything. If DB is not good, then application also will good here. The application also will find out here. Okay. So that is the one. Okay.